Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking into your sources on IndiGo. The airline that seems to be everywhere in India's skies. We really want to unpack how they've achieved this huge success and critically, that near-perfect safety record. I mean, how does an airline with, over 400 aircraft now, flying thousands of flights daily, how do they keep a zero fatal accident record since they started back in 2006? Can't just be luck.
Oh, it's definitely not luck, no. What really jumps out from the sources you shared is this incredibly disciplined strategy. It seems built on, let's say, three core pillars. You've got this proactive safety culture really baked in. Then there's the fleet, almost entirely Airbus, modern planes, very homogenous. And third, this really ambitious push into international markets. It's happening right now.
Okay, let's dig in that safety record first. AirlineRatings.com gives them 6 out of 7 stars, which is, really good. But that 1-star deduction, it wasn't for fatalities, right? It was more about non-fatal operational things, tail strikes, runway issues.
Exactly. And what's quite interesting there is for an airline flying that much, statistically, some incidents like that are almost bound to happen. The key thing, the real insight from the sources, isn't that they occur, but how the crews handle them. Their professional response consistently stops these things from becoming, worse. It really shows the strength of their training and systems.
So if these minor incidents are sort of inevitable at that scale, how do they actually use them? How does it feed back into that safety culture you mentioned?
Well, that touches on how they stay ahead. It seems they're using some pretty cutting-edge tech, an AI-powered risk management platform. Apparently, it crunches huge amounts of data. Open source stuff, but also, importantly, EASA data, that's the European Safety Agency info. This gives them real-time alerts. It's a big shift, from just reacting to things to actively looking for potential issues. They call it fostering an informed culture and a just culture, basically making it safe for staff to report issues without blame so everyone learns.
Right, makes sense. And beyond the tech, it looks like they're investing heavily in their people, too.
Oh, absolutely. Big time. They've built up their own MRO capabilities. That's maintenance, repair, and overhaul, got a new big center in Bengaluru. And, crucially, they're building their own talent pipeline. They set up SAME School for aircraft maintenance engineering, plus a really rigorous cadet pilot program, working with partners like CAE and L3 Harris. They turn aspirants into commercial pilots in, around 21 months? Having that kind of strategic control over your engineers and pilots, that's a huge long-term advantage. Ensures quality, ensures supply.
Okay, let's switch gears to the fleet. The sources really emphasize that focus on the Airbus A320 family, operational simplicity. But beyond just, simpler maintenance and training, what's the deeper advantage there?
Well, yes, it streamlines maintenance, spares, training, all that. But it also creates this kind of operational muscle memory across the whole airline. Everyone knows the aircraft inside out. It leads to consistency, faster problem solving. It's an efficiency edge that's hard to replicate with mixed fleets. And that focus is why they went for the A320neo over the Boeing 737MX. Both are efficient, sure, but the Neo maybe had a slight edge per seat, and crucially, those longer range versions, the LR and XLR, they can fly up to, 4,700 nautical miles? That's absolutely key for the international plans.
And speaking of longer routes, the wide-body choice, they went with the Airbus A350, not the Boeing 787. Why was that?
Well, there's definitely some synergy, sticking with Airbus, pilots, maybe some maintenance overlap. But the sources suggest the biggest factor. It was delivery times. Airbus could promise planes by 2027. That's critical with Air India getting stronger. Boeing's offer was apparently much later than 2027, so getting those planes sooner was, a strategic must-have.
Right, and the sheer number of planes they're ordering. It's kind of staggering. Is that purely good news for them?
Right now, it seems to be a massive advantage. They are Airbus's biggest A320 family customer globally. Think about that. Over 1,300 on order, including that huge 500-plane deal in 2023, the biggest ever commercial purchase. That gives them enormous bargaining power on price, lower capital costs. And it even lets them do those profitable sale and leaseback deals. Sell a new plane to a lessor, lease it straight back, freeze up cash. Clever.
So they've got this super disciplined operation at home, but they're not stopping. This move towards being a global player by 2030. Even adding a business class IndiGos stretch, that feels like a really big shift.
It is a major pivot. And the strategy seems to be threefold. First, growing organically with their own planes, those long-range A321 XLRs and the new A350s. They're even damp leasing some Boeing 777s right now, basically renting fully crewed planes for routes like Istanbul to get started quickly. Second, they're doing lots of code shares, partnering with big names like Air France, KLM, Turkish Airlines. That expands their network without needing their own planes everywhere, capital light. And third, using that dominant 60+% domestic network in India to feed passengers onto these international flights.
What? It's not all smooth sailing. The sources you gave us also point out some pretty significant challenges, some headwinds.
Yeah, and that's the big question now, isn't it? Can they keep up the momentum? Operationally, they've had persistent issues with some Pratt& Whitney engines, grounding dozens of planes at times, 70-something, I think one source said. Plus, you've got the global supply chain headaches affecting everyone, getting parts, getting new planes delivered on time. Then there's geopolitics. Airspace closures in the Middle East, issues with Pakistan that forces longer, more expensive routes to Europe, and of course, competition. Air India is getting much stronger, backed by Qatar. So yeah, these things are definitely putting pressure on their capacity and efficiency right now.
So wrapping this up for you, the listener, what we see in IndiGo is this masterclass in disciplined execution. That amazing safety record isn't luck. It comes directly from having really solid systems in place.
Yeah.
And sticking with Airbus. That's clearly paved the way for growth.
But IndiGo is definitely at a crucial point, a real inflection point. This move to become a global sort of hybrid airline. It's their biggest gamble yet. Ambitious, yes, but also risky.
The real test now is whether they can handle all these things coming together. The internal supply chain issues, the engine problems, and those external geopolitical pressures. Can even this incredibly disciplined airline maintain the speed they need to hit that global vision? It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What does it take for any company, really, to scale up so fast and keep performing in a world that's, well, just so unpredictable?